Shalom. I am Rabbi Nathan Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webyeshiva.org. In this week's Torah reading, Parsha Beshalach, we have the story of the crossing of the Red Sea and what happened after that. Here we have the Jews finally getting out of Egypt, finally being freed from slavery, and Pharaoh decides to chase after them. So he thinks they made a mistake. So he's pursuing them, and he finds them just as they get to the banks of the Reed Sea. And just picture this. The Jews are surrounded by the Egyptians behind them, the sea in front of them, nowhere to turn, except, of course, to turn to God. So they cry out to God, and God says, "Why are you crying out to me? Go, walk into the sea." And as a great show of their faith and belief in God, their emunah and bitachon, they did just that. They walked into the sea, and miraculously, the sea split, and wherever the Jews walked was not the mud of the sea that you would expect, but it was dry land. They walked on dry land. They got to the other end of the sea, and they sang this song. And the Torah says, "Oz Yashur Moshe v'nei Yisrael Zashira Hazos LaHashem v'yomer Lemor." Says Moshe and the Israelites sang this song to God, and they said they will sing to God for He is exalted. This is one of the 10 different songs that are referenced throughout the Torah. It's called the Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea. What is so important about this song? These commentaries say that by singing this song, the Jewish people are recognizing that everything that happened to them, all the pain they went through in Egypt, all the horrible things that took place, brought them to this point where they could see that God's purpose in the world was to create them and bring them out as a special people. There is a comment that Shira is so important that Chizkiyahu, the prophet, would have been Mashiach, was destined to be Mashiach, except that he didn't say Shira at the time of the downfall of Sancherib. What is the connection of Shira and Shabbos? First of all, this song is exalting God, is talking about the holiness of God, how God's name became holy by the miracles that he did, and recognizing what he did was for the best. Now on Shabbos it says, we say that on Shabbos we have to sing Shira, and we sing a special Shira, a special song on Shabbos, which is called Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbos. We sing it Friday night in all of the prayer services. Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbos, the 94th Psalm. If you look at that particular Psalm, you will see that other than the introductory language, Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbos, the name Shabbos Shabbat does not appear anywhere in that song. What is the song about? It says, Tov lahodos l'Hashem. You have to thank God. It is good to thank God. L'zamer l'shimcho elyon, to sing to his great name. L'hagid baboker chazdecha, to talk about the kindness, the mercies that God gives us, that we are able to see when things are looking good. V'emunas chabaleilos, and to have strong faith at night when things look difficult, at times that are difficult, and recognize that with our faith we know that everything is good. Excuse me. So this song of pardon me. The song for Shabbos reflects that theme over and over and over again. Similarly, the Song of the Sea reflects that concept that we recognize that when everything is done, everything was for a purpose. Now, during the week, when we're embroiled in everything that happens around us, making a livelihood, dealing with family, dealing with issues, it's really hard to look at things, to separate yourself, stand back and see, is this good or not? I'm having these difficulties. But when Shabbos comes, Oz Tisanag al Hashem, Shabbos we will sing and rejoice with God. And that's why we sing this song, Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbos. It's the point at which you are really accepting Shabbos upon yourself during that Friday night davening. Saturday morning, Shabbos morning, we say Nishmas. Nishmas kol chai tevorech Shimcha Hashem Elokecha. Every soul shall bless you. And that's the acceptance of Shabbos, the acceptance of Shabbos on Shabbos day itself. Those two things tell us the importance of being able to recognize the good that God does for us. And we have Shabbat Shira. Shabbat Shira is referred to as by some of the commentaries as the greatest song. Every Shabbos, in fact, is referred to as Shabbat Shira because we sing on Shabbos, we sing God's praises. But when we have Shabbat Shira, the confluence of both together, you have that tremendous power of praising God and thanking God. And we also see that we are praising God. The word God is exalted. And that's an important concept, to recognize that whatever we do, we must do it in a way that exalts the name of God, raises the name of God, that we, just like as we go through life, we have to recognize that what we are doing should be to serve God, not against the will of God. And by doing that, you make a Kiddush Hashem. You sanctify God's name by doing kindness in this world. And that's what Shira is about, song in general. That's what Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, is about, recognizing God's kindness, even though up until then things looked totally different. You had no idea why it was going on. And that's what Shabbos is about. Shabbos is stepping away from the difficulties of the world, of your weekly existence, and being able to spend time thanking God for everything that we have. I bless us all to be able to continue to sing to God, sing God's praises, and recognize as we're singing that we are thanking God for everything. Thank you for listening on behalf of the webyeshiva.org. I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom.